turn the recording on. All right, guys, I am so excited to bring on our guest speaker tonight. She is absolutely amazing. We tried getting her on last week. We had some technical difficulties, and she had technical difficulties, and it was just a difficult night all around. But we did it, and we're happy to have her tonight. And we're so excited to have her because she's leaving for, I think, Mexico tomorrow. So I know she's busy packing and getting her family ready to go on vacation. So we're really lucky that she had time for us tonight. This woman, I met her at a trainer school a couple years ago. They were like marketing directors at the time, and I was a marketing director, and they shot to IMD, and I watched they've been along and watching their ride, and it's been an amazing ride. I love watching their energy and their traveling. They just have so much fun, and I love to model myself after them. They have such a great life. And so I'm super excited to bring our very own Wanda Webb on the line. Wanda, are you there?
I am. Hey, Terry, how's it going? What's up?
That's awesome. Awesome. Hey, I am going to stop my video and let you have the whole screen, girl. Go for it.
What's going on, guys? So I see you as you're popping up here in the chat box. So feel free to just kind of interact and, you know, let's have some fun tonight. But what I really would love for you guys to do, if it's you got a little bit of time, just get some pen and paper wherever you are. Scratch paper is fine. I really want you to get pen and paper. It's really easy for us to pull our notepad out on our cell phone and to write something down and then to never reference it again. And I believe the book Think and Grow Rich talks about when you see something in your own handwriting, there's just something powerful that happens, and I believe that. And so I want you to get pen and paper out. And for those of you who don't know me, I'll kind of briefly share my story and our journey in World Ventures. My husband and I saw this information January 2013, and we weren't looking for anything. He was a full-time pilot serving the United States Air Force. I was a brand new nurse, and I worked mostly with paraplegic patients, and I felt blessed to be in a service type industry to serve people that needed me. And my husband was very proud to have climbed his 14-year career in the Air Force, commissioned over from being prior enlisted, and was able to fulfill his dream job as a pilot. And so we weren't really looking for anything. We're young, we got some kiddos, and I think we were doing what most people were doing in their early 30s, late 20s, with some kids and careers. You're just, you know, trying to do the right thing. You're just, you know, trying to get the nice house with the mortgage and maybe the nice car that's, you know, 5-star tested for your children's car seats, you know, just that life. It's like you grow up, you go to school, it's college, job, meet someone you love, have some babies, move into a house. You know, we're doing what we thought we were supposed to be doing, and we weren't looking for anything else. When I saw World Ventures, the person that shared it to me, I hadn't spoken to them since I was 13 years old. So it had been about 14 years since we last had any communication, no Facebook, nothing. And they reached out to me after finding me on Facebook. And it was basically an estranged family member that I was pretty anxious to link back up with. And we had very, very little small talk. And before I knew it, he said, "I want you to meet my wife. And I think she has something she wants to share with you." So this woman who I probably would, you know, pass at a local grocery store and not even know she was my aunt, she shared World Ventures with me. And honestly, I think back to that moment and I think, what was it that made me say yes? It was just the images of people having fun with their family and smiling and being with the ones they loved and doing something they loved. And here I was in scrubs about to go into a 12-hour shift and hope that, you know, my child wouldn't be too sleepy to just stay up and maybe play with me a little bit before I went to work. So definitely the fun part is what spoke to me. The opportunity to own a passport, the opportunity to get my kids a passport. I mean, that's just not what people where I come from do. We've never done anything like that. So that's what got me. And I am a total blue, which is that personality type that loves to have fun and wants to be the life of the party. And it spoke to me in that part. When it came to the business, you know, I didn't really know what I was seeing. I don't even know if I could properly define network marketing. I'd never done anything like this before, like ever. And I I didn't really understand everything they told me. What I understood was, you know, you could share it with your friends, and then if people sign up, you might be able to make a check off that, and maybe even like, you know, waive your fees. And that's pretty much all I knew. And I thought, well, do I know 4 people who would get as excited as I did when I saw those prices and vacations? I bet I know 4 people. At the time, I didn't have a lot of friends. I was a busy mom. My coworkers weren't my friends, you know, they were coworkers. And we'd moved away from my hometown. The military had us both ripped away from what we called home. So we didn't have a network. But I just thought, if I find 4 moms or nurses just like me, and if all they ever want to do is just take a vacation just like me, and if they're overworked just like me and don't see their kids enough just like me, then maybe they'll like this like I did, just like me. And so my big goal, guys, was to waive my fees. And at the time, when you consider the personal sales commission that they pay you, and, you know, waiving your fees and the personal bonus check, it was like maybe a couple of $100. So I told my aunt, yeah, I'll get started with that. And like, I just want to waive my fees and earn like a couple $100, and then I'm good. Make my money back, I'm good. I definitely would never get into anything more than that for this. I just want to waive my fees and be a happy member. And she was like, awesome, cool. You know, my husband ended up seeing this information, not from me, from someone else who was trying to recruit him on another team. He ended up seeing this information from them because I didn't properly show him. I verbally vomited on him and made it the most unattractive thing he ever heard. And he came home from work about maybe 2 weeks later, I can't recall, but very, very soon, and wanted to show me a video about something he heard at work. And I saw it, and I couldn't believe that he was trying to show me the same thing that I should have showed him. What he didn't know is that my aunt had my application in hand, and that she knew when I got paid, and she was ready to process that thing on my next payday, which at this point was going to be the next morning. So we had a conversation, and I don't know why, but I just felt the right thing to do was to sign up with my aunt, even though this other gentleman had properly and eagerly shown my husband. And we did. We signed up with my aunt, and it was a really good decision for us, because I just believe that we are exactly where we need to be with the mentors that we need. And I don't know if we would have been as coachable on, you know, and another team, because if you guys know, you know, Eric Rosbowski is our upline. And if you think he's tough on stage, you know, it's the real deal. What you see is what you get. And he's never tiptoed around our feelings in, you know, in spite of our business. And so that's it. You know, we went from 0 left, 0 got 0 right. 0 spillover. I've never had a drop of spillover, and I don't want a drop of spillover. At this rate, I think I'd be offended now. So they, you know, nothing wrong with having spillover in your business. If you do, that's a blessing. That is a big blessing, but many of us don't, and many of us will not. And that's cool too. I think that's awesome as well. And so we built this thing with no experience, 0 left, 0 right, all of our personals. You know, we've never had any advantage that is not in that presentation. And so we just got excited. And in all honesty, Randy, if you've ever met him, he got flaming excited. And if you are married to someone like that, you know that there's 2 options. You either are collateral damage or you join them, because there is no other option. And I just knew how excited he was. And more importantly, he never failed me. I had no reason to not trust him. So guys, we got started, and it's crazy talking about the day that we got started, because we were just having a conversation a while ago about what our like end of the year goals are, and what we want to do with that money, and making plans for the money that's to come. Because if you don't make plans for your money will have plans of its own. So we just were talking a while ago, and the numbers were awesome. You know, they were numbers that I'll just say that had you told me on day 1 that I would be talking those numbers, I'd have called you a liar straight to your face. I'd have told you that you were exaggerating and selling me a false dream. And I wish I could tell you more, other than we put our heads down and we worked hard, and we got our hearts broken, and we got tough in this thing. We got tough, and we're still getting tough, and we are still having our little upsets and passing through them. You get paid here for 2 things. You get paid to overcome obstacles, and you get paid to work with difficult people. Sometimes people are hard to work with, especially when they come to you raw and unpersonally developed. But we build the people, and the people build the business. So with that in mind, you know, we don't complain when we have obstacles in our business. We know that's what we get paid for. We get paid to overcome the obstacles, and we get paid to work with people and to build people. So what is it tonight that myself, no experience, going zero down, zero right to IMD, want to share with you? Well, I just want to talk to you like you're my team. And I want to give you the same exact marching orders that we are giving our team right now. Now, we're about to get geeky, okay? We're about to get really geeky here. So that's why I want you to get pen and paper out, because I'm a blue. And I don't like to talk about numbers. Numbers aren't fun. I want to talk about the next travel party and who's about to rank up and who's going to waive their fees and what trip did they book and when do we meet again and when do we hang out again. That's what I like to talk about. But what I know is that the fun will never come if the numbers aren't there. And so that, and I've also realized that it's really fun when people can count on you. And it's really fun when you have a plan. And it's really fun when you're watching your plans come to fruition. So with that said, let's get a little geeky. From the last event until United, that's how we build, by the way. Bonus training number 1, write this down. We build from event to event. We build from event to event. Now, we have 4 national events, which means that just like any other company, we're going to talk about our business in the annual year in increments of 4. And it's almost like you have quarters, right? But right now, the quarter that we're in is from Momentum to United. That's the quarter that we're in. Now, some of our quarters are shorter than others, right? And right now, we're in a very small window of time. Now, I'll tell you, I will say that when I saw the numbers and I saw that there was less time from Momentum to United, I personally like to always put a countdown on the team page, and I like to put the numbers there for me to track, for them to track, so that we can see, how much of our team is getting their tickets. But when I saw the numbers this time and realized that it wasn't the usual 90 days, it was much less than that, I was like, I wonder how that's going to work coming out of the winter, which is more traditionally a slower season, going into the almost back-to-back national events with only one RTE in between. And I'm going to tell you, it is probably the best thing that it could have happened to our team, because they now have a sense of urgency. There is this sense of urgency that it's happening in the organization, and you better believe the hype that momentum breeds momentum. Write that down. Momentum breeds momentum. Activity is attracted to activity. So we know we're building from event to event, and we know that momentum is attracted to momentum. That's why in the beginning, when Randy and I were still with a very small team, we were not the people that said, well, we're going to only build with our pay leg. I'll hear people say, well, right now I'm just focused on my pay leg, and their long leg is 100 deep. I would say work with where you get paid, but don't neglect where the fire is at. I personally love to be around the markets that are having success and that are putting sales in and that are having daily travel parties and that are doing the presentation. Those are always the most fun markets to be in. And so in the beginning, we focused on where the momentum was. Here's why. Because maybe the fire is not exactly where I want it to be, but what I know is that fire spreads. So if I can just baby this fire over here, get that fire going, get that fire going. What I know is that momentum breeds momentum, activity breeds activity, and it's not going to be long before somebody over here in this little fire gets motivated and starts to have that same energy running through them that's having over here with the big fire. And so I would tell you, once you're starting in the very beginning, just work where the fire is. Now, people will say, well, I don't know if I should work on my long leg, or I don't know if I should work on my pay leg. Work on both. There's 24 hours in a day. A presentation is less than an hour. A phone call with a 3-way is a couple of minutes. I mean, do both. You don't have to pick one or the other. Do it all of it. And so I'll tell you, that's how we're talking to our teams. We're really encouraging them to just go where the heat is and get butts at United. Get the butts at United. Here's why. I know you're fighting for sales, because we all are. Even IMDs are going to sit in front of somebody and have them tell them no, or have them give them an objection, or ask a silly question. And at that moment, we're fighting for that sale. Now, we're not begging, we're not devaluing ourselves or our time, but we are at that moment trying to get that sale, just like you're trying to get a sale. And so what you got to know is that even though my back office might look a lot more favorable than yours, at the end of the day, when I go to a brand new market, I'm sitting in a living room with 5 or 6 guests, maybe, hopefully, and I'm fighting for that sale because I know I can spark a fire there. But what I think happens is we get so programmed to fight for the sale that we forget there's 2 things we get paid for in this business. And the first one is inviting. That's part of the sale process, right? You got to get them to see it so you can get them to sign up. That's what we talk about, fighting for that sale. So that's the inviting part. But then there's a second thing that we get paid for in World Ventures that sometimes gets neglected, and that's promoting. There's only 2 things you'll ever get paid for here, inviting and promoting. Write that down. There's only 2 things you'll ever get paid for in this business. That's inviting and promoting. Now, the funny thing is that you can't control the outcome of either one, but you can control the input of both. So we're going to focus on the input, because here's the numbers. And this comes from $1 Million Earner Jefferson Santos. And he just said this in an RTE that he did with one of my fellow business partners. And he shared this note with me, and I just chewed on it. And he said, for every person you get to United, I know you're writing this down, that's why I'm going slow. For every person that you get to United, in the next 90 days, building from event to event, so before boot camp, you can expect about 3 to 5 sales from that person. Well, why such a wide range, 3 to 5? You know, there's some people who might sign up a basic, and then there's some people who might sign up a gold, but I don't need an exact. 3 to 5 is a good enough range for me. What I need to know is, even worst case scenario, for every person that I get to United, I can expect 3 sales minimum out of that person. When he said that, I started to think about all the stories in my organization, about all the people that started off as qualified reps and now they're national marketing directors and even IMDs. And I would say, yep, that number makes sense to me. Every but I get to United is about 3 to 5 sales before the next national event, which is in July, boot camp. So we know we got about 90 days. Every butt in the seat will multiply 3 to 5. You know, right away, guys, what I get in my head, the image that I get in my head, and I might be telling my age, but there's a movie, an old movie called Gizmo or Gremlins. You remember Gremlins? And there was a little gizmo, right? And there was only one rule. There's only one rule about this pet gizmo, is you can't get him wet. Because if you get him wet, then boop, 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 he will multiply, and his cousins were not so cute and friendly, right? So I started to think about that, because I know if I just boop, 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 if I can just get one person to multiply to 3 to 5, those are numbers I understand. Now we're not talking about 3 lines of 1,000. But this is how you get there. We are, let's see, because I have a countdown on my phone. We are not very far from United, guys. And maybe you've never been told what United is. Maybe you're brand new. But United is our only global conference. We have one a year. Now, remember those 4 national events I told you about? United is one of them. It's the biggest one. And United is where we invite all of our fellow business partners, brothers and sisters from overseas, and we invite them here, and we host a huge global conference for them. Now, why here? Because this is the birthplace of World Ventures, and we've been able to spread out to other nations, and we invite those nations as our guest to United. This year is something very special because it'll be hosted in Arlington, Texas, which is just Dallas, Texas, and it's going to be hosted at the AT&T Stadium where the Cowboys play. I don't know how you feel about the Cowboys, but it doesn't matter because we're talking numbers, right? And numbers are what matter. And I just think it's honorable. I think it's amazing that we're going to be sitting in a stadium that knows greatness, and we're going to be learning from the best all over the globe, not just trainers from North America, but trainers from Africa, trainers from Australia, trainers from China, trainers from all over the world. And we're just going to be sitting there soaking in knowledge. I don't know any other atmosphere that I enjoy more than when I'm at the national events, and the global conferences just add some powerfulness to that. So That's what United is. Now, to make it even sweeter, if you haven't heard the other news, just last week, our company, in an effort to get more people there than ever before, in a very generous effort to help us expand and grow our businesses, they've decided to have a BOGO deal on United tickets. Now, all the ladies in the room know what BOGO is, right? Buy one, get one. We know that. We know BOGO. That's our favorite term when you're shopping. Men, I've realized a lot of the men on my team don't know what a BOGO is. But what we mean when we say that is buy one, get one. Here's how it works. You buy one at full price, you get one for $70. Okay. So you're not spending hundreds on a ticket. You're spending $70 on a ticket. There's never been an easier time to get that one so it can spread to 3 or 5 each. And I'll put it this way, there will never, ever, ever, ever again be a more easier way to invite more people to a national event. Keep in mind that number still goes from 1 to 3 to 5. I don't care if it just goes to 3. I've tripled my business. If you can take the amount of people that are currently registered in your downline right now for United, take that number and multiply it by 3. How you like me now? How does that look? Is that something you would even want to happen in your business? Because if you don't want them to sign up, you can send them to me. I'll take them. I'll treat them good over here. And what I'm telling you is that even as an IMD, I'm working my second position right now. I'm $400 away from hitting marketing director on that joker. That'll happen because I triple cycled last week. Triple cycle or die. And we are 369 sales away from regional marketing director. The income's going to be coming along as we're building that position. And what I know is that every one I get to United is going to turn into 3 to 5. So if I need 369 people to be there, let me go ahead and do some very simple math. Let's take it down to 300. I need 300 people to hit RMD. That means I've got to get 100 people from that second account to the national event. It's easy. Take what you need to hit the next rank. Maybe you're not a rank at all. Awesome. 30 left, 30 right. That's what you need. You need 60 people in order to be a senior rep and to start that residual paycheck. 30 left, 30 right. Let's go ahead and talk about that in 2 teams, right? So we have 30 people over here and we have 30 people over here. We know 1 turns to 3. You need 10 people on your left and 10 people on your right to attend United. You can be sponsoring people right now, and getting them a $70 ticket and getting them to United, having them sleep on the spare bed, or having them just make a way to get there. Because here's what I know, hungry people are hungry. And everyone joins this business for 1 or 2 reasons, either a hope or a pain. There's no other reason that people join World Ventures. Either they're hoping for something really great or they're pained from something really great and they're trying to escape it. Everybody joins this business for a hope and a pain. The good news is no matter which one you are, you're hungry for something. You're hungry for this business to work for you. And those type of people, don't be scared that after they join, you tell them, hey, listen, I know you just made a big decision and this is going to be one of the best things you've ever done. But I want to talk to you about something happening that's major, and it's happening in Arlington, Texas in April. Now, this is a private rep-only event. Many of our events do sell out. But if I were able to get you a ticket for a very discounted rate, would you make a way to get there? Would you clear your weekend and ride down with me? Would you? Write that down. That's also a really good little something I read in a book when you're talking to people and you're trying to get them to make a decision. If I were able to get you into a very, very private rep-only event happening in Arlington, Texas at a discounted $70 rate, if I was able to do that, would you clear your weekend and come down with me? Likely, when you say it that way, people are thinking, absolutely, good. Because the top income earners are the people that go to these things. And that's real. That's all truth. You're not exaggerating, lying, or misleading. Everything is true. And so I want you to start really thinking about United as kind of being the gateway to your next rank. Right now, no matter where you are in your business, the gateway to your next rank is through United. And we don't have many days left But what I know is that every single one of us could sponsor a handful of people where we want them to be in our binary. A handful of us could sponsor some people, and we know that 1 can turn to 10 and 10 can turn to 100 here. And I hope that's how you think about this business, because I've seen it happen with my own eyes, and that's how it works here. But momentum is attracted to momentum. You got to get something going. Well, Wanda, nothing's happening on my team and nobody's registered. You don't got a team. You don't have a team. If you have no one registered, you don't have a team. You need to start over. Love them, love you where you are, but right now I need to go build another team, because remaining irrelevant will never serve anybody in my downline. And that's the attitude you got to have about United. United is really a filter. It's a filter to see who is serious. It's a filter to see who is committed. It is a filter to see who's going to get there. Guess what? When we started, we all had money problems. That's why we joined World Ventures. Everyone here was looking for something extra as far as income. Everyone here is hoping to earn a dime here. And so no one has the money up front to go to the event. That's part of walking by faith and knowing what you're going to do with this business, and knowing whether or not your work ethic is worth the money it's going to take to get you trained up the right way. And so what I would tell you is that you haven't already purchased your United ticket. I forgive you, but I refuse to leave you where I found you when you got on this webinar tonight. That is not who I am. I refuse to let you sit there and think that that is okay. And I'm going to tell you right now, I am pleading with you to open that calendar up and to find a way. Because if you do not, you are basically donating $20 a month to World Ventures because you do not have a business. You do not have a business. And I'm going to ask you this. Do you have a job if you don't attend orientation? Absolutely not. Do you have a degree if you don't go to class? No. Do you have a marriage if you don't show up to the wedding? No. So why do you think we have a business if we do not attend the 4 national events? There's only 4 that happen every year. How is it that we have a business if we're not attending the events? And so you got to understand that eventually 1 or 2 things are going to happen. Eventually, you're going to understand how important the trainings are, because you're going to see that other people are passing you up, and you're going to go, dang it, I need to get there. Eventually, that's going to happen. If you plan on never quitting, and if you're real about this business, and you haven't already mentally quit and played yourself, and you know that you're going to be doing this, then let's have a real conversation. You want to win here? Likely you're going to start attending training, right? And you're thinking, well, maybe not this one, but for sure I want to start going. Okay, cool, I get it. You want to start going to the trainings. That's a goal. Awesome. Let's just start doing it now. Why are we putting it off? Maria says, yep, I do. Maria, if you want to win here, the way that it works, girls, we got to get a lot of people to United. That's how this works. I wish that there was an easier way, like I could mail people, some type of serum to drink and it would just happen. If there was a way, trust me, I'd be selling that too. But I'm telling you, after having an organization of 24,000 sales that have come in a 4-year period, all of that direct lineage, there is no way to do this on a big scale. There is no way a comma will hit your bank account ever if you aren't committed to the training. And I wish I knew why, but here's what I know. We start off raw. All of us do. We start off raw, and we need to be molded just a little bit. Not changed, not turning into something we're not, but a little bit of the direction has meant the world to me in this business. And it's not direction from anyone. It's direction from top income earners and $1 million earners. They have big rings. I want direction from those people. So if you know that eventually you want to win here, let's go ahead and just cut the nonsense and let's get to the end. And let's say, you know what, I've got to start being committed to the training system. And more importantly, I've got to create a culture in my organization that is addicted to the training system. And when you are able to really do that, that's when you see magic happen. That is when you start to see lineages take off and businesses take off. I wish I knew why, but here's what I do know. It works. It works real good. And I've never made a dime misleading anybody or telling someone something that wasn't the absolute truth. So hear me out. The way I'm talking to you right now, I'm talking on a very personal level to my business partners. And I'm telling them that it's a non-negotiable. When people ask me, are you going to United? I'm offended. I'm offended. That's like asking me, hey, are you and Randy, y'all plan on being married next year? What kind of question is that? How rude. That's exactly my response when someone says, are you attending United? Absolutely. Absolutely, because all the best do, and I want to be part of that group as well. And so I don't think I have to convince you anymore that United is the gateway to your next rank. But what I do have to tell you is that we've got to be focused, not just putting the sales in right now, that's important. But I would even dare to say that it's secondary to pushing United. According to my countdown right here, we've got 24 days, 19 hours to get registered for United. It is a countdown that we are really focused on. And I know that our personal goal is to have 150 of those sales in Lineage to hit RMD. So for me, for us, we want to have 2 new sales every single day, because that equals 50 brand new people. And we want to get those people to United. We want to bus them there. We want to house them by any means necessary. And what we know is that if those 50 people go out and do what I know they can do, get those 3 to 5, that means minimum I can have 150 in sales. Do you guys see how that math works out? And it rolls right off the tongue because I know my numbers, and I know my numbers because I'm really doing this business. And so I would encourage you, what is your number? What is your number right now? How many people do you want to attend United? And if that grows, when that grows to 3 to 5, what's that new number look like? If you say, I want to have 10 people attend United, 10, 30 to 50 in brand new Lineage. Guys, go ahead and type that right here. I want to see these numbers. How many people do you commit to bringing to the training with you? You got 24 days. It's not going to be easy, but here's what I know. 14 days is usually a 2 weeks notice, which is what required for any corporate career to get a day off. We got time. People at least get 1, maybe even 2 more paychecks between now and then. We got time. And World Ventures pays me every single Friday. We have time. So Mackenzie says she wants to have 30 in Lineage. So 30 people from her team going. That means that she can expect 90 to 150 in growth. That's major. Anya says she needs 36 new people at United. Terrence Summers says he's need 2 more people right now for United. Mackenzie, you're at 15 now. Heck yeah. Barbie, 4 personals. Barbie, you get those 4 personals and you do everything that it takes to put them in a van with you, drive them down if you have to, get a supersized hotel. Everybody's split. I went by the AT&T Center. I don't know where everyone is at in their business, but there's Motel 6s and there's Residence Inns, and all the way on the other side is a Sheraton. So you pick whatever you can get, like basic, gold, and platinum. You pick what's for you and you get your butt there. And what I'm telling you is I want you to literally do a science project on what I'm telling you. I want you to literally do a science project. And I want you to see the people you get to United. And then I want you to count the sales that they have put in from United to boot camp. I want you to track that. Even the ones that fall off. Here's why I say count the sales that fall off, because you still make bonuses off the sales that fall off. If someone quits later, it'll affect your residual, but it doesn't affect your bonuses. So you still earn a paycheck off that. Thank you, World Ventures. So try me on this, because we are definitely, my husband and I, when we heard this today, this training, this is from Jefferson Santos, not me. I didn't make this up. This is from a $1 Million Earner who's besties with Wayne, who has been doing this probably, with all due respect, longer than I've been alive. And so I'm going to listen to what he has to say. And if I know 1 turns to 3 to 5, I am ready to focus on getting those ones in the seat. Don't just be the rep that is focused on putting one in. That doesn't get you paid. That gets you maybe qualified and maybe, some personal bonus checks. But what we build here is a team, and you need to build a team. And so it's not just about personals. Don't just be focused on the sales. Get them in, get them started, and then get me to United. If you don't have a team at United, you don't have a team. If you were only allowed to count the people in your organization that are actually registered for United right now, would you even be qualified? That is the scary truth. Think about it. Think about those numbers. Become obsessed with them. Make them your friend. And I'm telling you, if this blue can get excited about numbers, anybody can. Especially when you know that more than likely, I'm telling you exactly what's going to happen. The people who get this many people to United are going to be able to see this many more people in their Lineage by boot camp. This is a no-brainer. Now, we don't make any absolutes here, but here's an absolute that I can give you. I know, without a doubt, you get to United, absolutely, you'll be a changed person. You'll be a better business partner. You'll be more enlightened to who our global partners are and what that looks like. We're going to have some of the best on that stage. The first IMD in Australia is going to be on that stage. The first knighted woman from the Asian market, Millie, is going to be on that stage. We're going to have our own quadruple IMDs repping North America on that stage. We're going to have brand new ranks that have fought for every sale walking that stage, and they want to hear you scream for them, because sometimes that is exactly all they need to validate them and to push them towards the next rank. And what I also know, absolutely, that is going to be on that stage is the lessons that you need, the knowledge that is for you, and the people who want to pour into you. And I just want to leave you guys with this. When a company of this stature spends this much energy, time, effort, money on training, it is a blessing. Because I don't know if you've ever done anything like this before, but what I'm starting to hear is this is not what companies focus on. They don't focus on making their people better. They don't focus on building us. This company builds us. This company makes me better, not just for their bottom dollar, but for my household, for my husband, for my children, for my team, for fellow women who are watching me. This company makes me better. They build me, and then they let me go build the business. That's not how most people operate. If you've ever been in corporate world, have you ever been anywhere where they spend this much time and energy on creating a fun atmosphere to feed you? No, I didn't. I was in nursing. We had trainings almost weekly. None of them were fun or thoughtful. They were always inconvenient and boring and poorly planned. So you're in a company, a nearly $1 billion company, that is pouring to you with so much intensity. I would dare to say most of us have never been poured into like this before. They're offering you everything they have, giving you the best of the best, committed to making this seamless. Do you know in other network marketing companies, the IMDs have to come up with their own trainings? Isn't that crazy? That they have to do that on their own to get their people fed? In an industry that we all know is hard, this is a volunteer workforce. And then they have to go make their own trainings? But our company does this for us like clockwork. We don't have to ask, well, is World Ventures going to do boot camp this year? No. Think about that. If you had to ask, is World Ventures even going to do boot camp this year? We trust them that they're going to support us, that they're going to pour into us. But sometimes we take it for granted. And here's what I'll tell you that equivalates to me. The equivalency, rather, is I would say that when something so for you, for your benefit, something so great is given to you, and you push it away by not attending, that's like walking through the back door, insisting on coming through the back door when the front door is wide open for you with a red carpet. That's like saying, I don't deserve this. This isn't for me. I'm not good enough. Oh, surely I don't, those trainings aren't for me. And maybe they're for another. I don't know the thought process that would have somebody check themselves out of something that is designed just for them. But what I do know, it's like insisting on failure when success is an option. It's insisting. Don't pay me, don't pour into me, don't make me better. Let me have to build this the hard way. Let me invite the wrong way for 2 years before I figure out that was the wrong way. Make this hard for me. And I'll tell you right now, this business is hard enough as it is. You don't need to give yourself another handicap by being negligent with the training system that they do for us. And guys, I know I haven't seen all the back scenes, but I've seen some of the behind the scene effort that goes into these trainings, and I just go, holy cow, I'm grateful. I don't have to think about none of this. I don't got to think about security or ticketing or what to train on or who. I don't have to think about none of that. All I've got to do is say, get your butts there, because I'm going to be there, and the greatest are going to be there. And we want to leave you better than we found you. Remember, you joined World Ventures for one of two reasons. Either you were hoping for something more, or you were pushed by a pain that has you searching for something to get you out of it. I don't know what that is for you, but what I do know is that both those feelings, for me, they're enough to make me coachable. They're enough to allow me to humble myself and say, maybe they aren't trying to get anything from me. Maybe for the first time ever, just maybe, someone's actually trying to put me on and help me out and give me their hand and say, come on, I got your back. That's what we're doing tonight. Too many people think that this company benefits from them attending the training. I know the numbers. It does not benefit financially from doing these trainings. But how it does benefit is it builds us. And we build the people. We build the business. And we in turn build the organizations that build the money. And we make this company as successful as it is. It's all because of you guys. All of this is happening is because of people like you. Now, let's not take advantage of that. And let's become so committed to a training system that next year, we won't even think about using the AT&T Stadium because it'll be too small. That's how I think about World Ventures. And if you think about World Ventures the same way that I think about World Ventures, then awesome. But if all this is going right over your head, let me tell you something. Trust us. Trust me blindly. I know how I'm saying that. Trust me. Because what I know is I've never in 4 years had one person tell me that by any way they regretted coming. Never. It's never happened. In fact, every time they'll say, thank you for pushing me. Thank you for getting me here. And thank you for pushing me. Do not be offended by the people that push you. Be offended by the ones that don't think enough of you to push you. Be offended by the IMD that says, oh, you don't have the money? Okay, maybe next time. That is offensive because you, a thinker, a doer, an entrepreneur, surely you can figure out how to scrape together a couple of $100 in the next 24 days. Absolutely that you can. Anybody can. But you don't know where I'm at. Anybody can. The man that created eBay says that on average, every single one of us have about $1,000 worth of junk in our garage that somebody would buy tomorrow. Somebody is going to Facebook garage sale page their way to United. It might as well be you. So don't be offended that I'm asking you with little resources perhaps to get to United. Be offended that I would not ask you with this type of intensity. That should offend you. Don't be mad at the people that see you greater than you are. Don't be mad at the people who say, oh, you don't got $1. Guess what? You're better than that. And you're not going to be held down by that. So get there anyway. Don't be offended by that. Be offended by the people that count you out because they don't expect it. They don't expect more from you. Be offended by that. And then prove everybody wrong and get to the training and get your people there and fight and carry them off your back if you have to. And then watch how every time you're obedient in your business, somehow the numbers come in. Isn't that funny how it happens? So, guys, I love you. I hope you understand that in the next 24 days, you can do something that will dramatically change your business in 2017. In fact, it could likely put you on stage at boot camp. Think about that. You could do something in the next 25 days that'll get you on that stage at boot camp. That's why we talk about this the way that we do. Remember, you only get paid for inviting and promoting. This is promoting time, guys. It's time to start promoting. It's time to promote. Use that BOGO deal. Sell it like it's the best thing since sliced bread. Get your team there. Do not leave anybody behind. This is not a vacation. It's a training. It shouldn't be comfortable. You should have people sleeping on your floor. You should have someone sleeping on your couch. You should be sharing Fiber One bars and eating oatmeal because that's what you can afford. Oh, well, you'll look good for the summer. Okay? That's how it should feel. It should feel like it's training. It should feel uncomfortable. It should push you. It should require more from you. It's not a vacation to Arlington, Texas. Because somebody right now probably thinks the best thing they'll do down here is ride a ride at Six Flags. But there's somebody else that right now the decision has been made that in the next 25 days, they're going to use United as a gateway to walk stage at boot camp. So if you're a big thinker like me, and if you expect more from everyone around you like me, then I expect you to get butts there. Because if I was on your team, knowing what I know now, I hope that you would call me and understand that you've got to maybe push me just a tad to make me understand that it's the only way to make this work. So don't leave anyone behind. And do not belittle them by not pushing them. Do not belittle your organization by not pushing them. Be the leader that leads from the front. Be a leader that already has their ticket, has an extra. If you've got the means, then get an extra hotel room and fill it up with other people. If you have enough money to pay a cable bill every single month, then odds are you do have enough money to buy an extra hotel room and get some people there. So let's do that. Thank you guys. Terry, that's it. I really hope that we were able to just talk about the importance of United and how I'm talking to my team about it and how focused we are right now. And I'm telling you, we got a brand new marketing director just popped this week. We got a brand new director about to pop. I think we popped 3 or 4 senior reps. So much is happening in our brand new second team. We've got a guy who's 3 away from senior rep. And then we got another young lady who's 4 away from senior rep. And we had a guy who just popped senior rep. We're focused on the lifestyle bonus. We're getting to United. We're going to triple the size of this organization, and I will hit R&D by boot camp on that second account. So who's coming with me? Guys, I appreciate it. Have a wonderful evening. Have a great, blessed night. I pray that your business expands, that everywhere you touch, that your territory is prosperous, that everyone that comes across you knows that there is something deep down inside of you, and they might think it's World Ventures, but what they really know is that true joy has a funny way of giving you a voice. True joy has a funny way of attracting people into your business. So let's go ahead and be those people. Let's go be those people and let's share this concept and let's make our family even bigger and even better. All right, guys, I love you. Have a wonderful night.